Chapter 9. Ella. I need to get ready for work, but I'm laying in bed. I can't stop thinking about the sex we had yesterday. It wasn't even sex. It was fucking. Primal, tear your clothes off and tear into each other fucking. It was, in a word, amazing. All other sexcapades in my past pale in comparison to Cash. Literally, he's the best I've ever had in my life. There is only one problem. Afterward? An intense desire to have him hold me had plowed through my gut, leaving my heart aching in my chest. As we put our clothes back on, I'd wanted him to say, "Stay, come sit in my lap and let me hold you." I wanted him to whisper sweet nothings in my ear. But that's not our arrangement. We got dressed and we got back to work. He left me with a slap on my ass and a command to be in his office by 9 the next morning. It's only been a couple weeks, but I've gone from thinking I'm crazy for taking the job to getting attached. Way too attached. And that will only lead to me getting hurt. I can't stand more pain in my life. I have to protect my heart. I don't know how I'm going to find another job, but I know what I have to do. He was cold to me, ignoring me for the better part of 2 weeks. The dress was a test. He does want me. I can't take it. The hot and cold, the on and off, it's driving me crazy. I have to resign, leave Cash in the past, and move on. I told him I needed to quit. Sure, he had his fingers inside me when I said it, but he heard me. It's Friday morning. Today is the last day of my contract. I've fulfilled my obligation to have my lawyer fees paid. I'll quit today, at the end of today. I picture it lying on his desk, a typed-up letter signed by me and folded into a crisp white envelope. The words, Mr. Bachman, scrawled across the front. It's not just my heart I'm worried about. I have other problems, ones from my past rearing their ugly heads. The texts have started up again. After Aaron's death, they'd come in full force. My phone bing-bonging every minute of the day. I've had to turn off my notifications. Then they stopped, fading into the abyss that had become my life, and I'd forgotten about them. Didn't give them another thought. When you go through trauma, that can happen. The most vicious, gut-wrenching image stays on instant replay in the forefront of your mind. His face. The gun. What he said. What I did. And all the other horrible things kind of fade into the background. Then last week they came crashing back. They're all from the same unknown number. One word. All caps. Murderer. My hands shake as I hold the phone, staring numbly at the screen. Why is Cash's face the first thing that pops into my head? All I can think is he could fix this. He could fix anything. I can't ask him to help, can I? He's done enough for me already. Honestly? My life is such a freaking out-of-control mess that having him in control, it was kind of nice. I know, I'm a freak. I let a stranger I met in a graveyard become my boss and my dom. But deep down below the shame and the madness, sometimes it felt right. Like a bright shining star in an otherwise dark hole of an existence. I need to let it go. The worry over the texts and Cash. I toss my phone on the bed. Wait, what's the time? Shoot! The texts had me so rattled I lost track of time. I'm due in his office in 10 minutes. Not much time to be gorgeous and have my ass downstairs to the car. Thank God I showered and shaved last night. I scrub my teeth, taking stock of what I have to work with. My hair is looking clean and shiny, so I use my brush to tug it up into a high, smooth, and sexy business ponytail I've seen some of the Bachman women rocking. My skin is glowing. Post-banging my boss hole glow? It felt good to get under his skin for once. The look of desire in his eyes when he grabbed me. Just thinking of it has my temperature rising. Wait, what's that? I lean in closer to the mirror and turn my face. A tiny trail of bluish crescent moons run down my neck. A gift from him? Did he mark me as his? I'm not going to take my hair down and hide these. I leave the ponytail up. Let them be a reminder to show him how into me he was. Even if it was only for a heated moment. A swipe of shadow and mascara and gloss and I'm set. What to wear? If it's going to be my last day, I need to make it count. My black pencil skirt hangs neatly in the closet, fresh from the dry cleaners. My closet is filled with mostly teacher clothes plus a few work purchases I splurged on when Cash put the advance in my account. I've already worn the red power dress and it worked for what I wanted it to. Maybe a little too well, my heart pings back. I rummage through my hangers till I find a cream-colored cardigan. How to make this sexy? How about I forego anything underneath and button it up all the way? Forget the bra and panties. He might like that. I shrug into the cardigan, sliding the pearl buttons through the loops. I shimmy a skirt over my hips, zipping it to my waist and stand back from the mirror. Damn, I look hot. The skirt is cut just right, making me look like I have an hourglass figure that won't stop. The sweater is soft and tight, and it hugs my breasts in an alluring way. My pendant nestles against my clavicle. I reach up, fingering the gem. Will I have to give this back when I quit? I slip into the same heels I wear every day. Why change when I've gotten the hang of these? And grab my phone from the bed. 1 minute to get myself downstairs. Perfect. Halfway down the stairs, I realize I've forgotten my purse, but I figure Kimmy will spot me. Ace is leaning against the car waiting for me. He's got his arms crossed over his chest, making his biceps impossibly large. The grumpy look on his face melts slightly when he spots me. He gives me a grunt in greeting, opening the back door for me. "Good morning, lovely day, isn't it?" I flash him what I hope is a winning smile. I've made it a little game of mine, trying to get him to smile. I get another grunt. He closes the door and I slide against the velvety leather. I could so get used to this treatment. Hell, I have. A few weeks in and I've already forgotten what the subway is. I'm going to miss this car. I stroke my hand over the seat. Ace catches me in the rearview mirror. Embarrassing. So soft, I say, smiling again. He carefully checks for traffic, then glides away from the curb. "You have good sleep?" I did. Slept like a baby, in fact. "Babies don't sleep. My sister, she's had 7, and trust me, they do not sleep." I laugh. Well, I don't have much experience with babies. I hold back a bit, but the words just slip out. I was a teacher before this. He catches my gaze in the mirror. "You have very kind eyes. I'm sure you were an excellent teacher." Thank you. I think of little Janie and wonder how she's doing. The other kids kind of faded into the background of my mind, but I miss her. I think of the day I first returned to school after the accident. How she'd read my mood from across the room and came right to me, folding herself in my arms in the warmest of hugs. She didn't say a word, just squeezed. She's such a sweet girl. 3 dings from my phone tear me from my memories. I look down at the screen. Murderer, murderer, murderer. Heat rises in my face while ice crawls through my veins. My stomach knots, making me glad I skipped breakfast this morning. I could throw up. "Everything okie dokie back there?" Ace demands. I brush a tear from my eye, trying to hide the waterworks that have suddenly appeared. My voice is tight, but I try to smile through the fear. "Oh, yes, just hunky-dory. I just forgot about something, but my phone is reminding me now." "You sure?" He raises a brow at me like he doesn't believe me. I nod. Will he report back to Cash that something upset me? Part of me wishes he would. I just want someone to make this all go away. The rest of the ride I stare out the window. As we pass Bachman's jeweler, I mindlessly reach for the pendant of my necklace. It feels solid between my fingers and somehow grounds me. I tell myself I've got this. We go through the secret double gates and enter the village. The scene is just as picturesque as it is every morning we drive through it. Couples dotting the bistro tables dining al fresco for their breakfasts of pastries and fruit and coffees. These Bachmans sure do love their coffee. We reach Enterprise and I slip from the car, opening my door before Ace can even get out of the seat. He turns back, offering me a head shake and a growl. We men don't like the ladies to open their doors. Chivalry has not died. Got it. Next time. I realize there won't be a next time. I'm quitting. I need to give him a parting gift. I poke my head back in. Hey, what's your favorite treat? His brow crumples together. Treat? You know, I say, what you indulge in when you aren't working on those huge muscles of yours. He thinks momentarily, then gives a decisive nod. Pie. I like pie. All right then. Thanks for the ride. See you later. I catch a smile on his face as I close the door. Yes! I won the game. My heels click over the pavement with twice the confidence I had on my first trek to this door. Kimmy's waiting for me out front. Her blonde curls a halo around her lovely face. Jeez, I'm going to miss her. She grabs my hands. Ella, guess what? Good morning. I giggle over her enthusiasm. It's contagious. What? She's bubbling over with hushed excitement. Cash ordered you a manicure, and he booked Enid. Enid's the best. She's in his office setting up right now. Oh, wow. I wonder why he ordered me a manicure. I look down at my neglected nails. My cuticles have made a job of trying to take them over. Maybe this is part of the grooming ritual mentioned in the contract. That was nice of him. She tugs at my arm, pulling me into the building. He likes you. I mean, he must like you. He doesn't do this kind of thing for just anyone. And trust me, there are women lining up to be his. Like groveling at his feet, begging to be... Really? He's been kind of a jerk to me lately. I laugh. This has been a long couple of weeks. My throat tightens thinking of the week and a half he avoided me before the dress. She rolls her eyes, giving my arm a reassuring squeeze. He's your classic bosshole. Runs hot, then cold. But seriously, he's way nicer to you than anyone else. He probably just feels sorry for me because of what happened. My words trail off. I like Kimmy. I want her to like me. Will she look at me differently if she knows my past? I sneak a glance at her out of the corner of my eye. She stops in her tracks, her face a glowing mask of empathy. She grabs my hands in hers again, pulling me close. I wasn't going to mention it. I figured it was best for you to start with a clean slate and leave the past in the past, especially with the story flashed all over the news like that. But since you brought it up just now, I stand behind you. She gives my hands a squeeze, her eyes locking on mine in a meaningful way. No matter what. Thank you, Kimmy. It touches me to have a friend so accepting of me. I love Chloe, but since it happened, there's been a wall between us. I pull Kimmy in for a tight hug, wishing I could take her with me when I leave today. I really appreciate that. Do you... Her nose crinkles up adorably. Want to talk about it? I can tell she's dying for some information, but not just because she loves a juicy story. She cares about me. It's my last day. What the hell? I'll leave her with a parting gift. Do we have time for a coffee talk? We grab coffees and sit down together in the break room. We've got the place to ourselves, and I start to spill my guts. Are the police still questioning you? I shake my head. No, thank God. Preston got them to stop that weeks ago. They don't bother me now. But last time he had an insider check. My name was still in their files as a possible suspect. I can't wait for the day Preston tells me they've ruled it a suicide. Which it was, right? My stomach turns. I'm sorry, Ella. That must be a weight on your shoulders. She takes a sip of her coffee. Do you want to tell me about your ex? I wrap my hands around the comforting warmth of my mug. There were small things at first with Aaron. Little signs that something wasn't right. I would leave a dish in the sink and there would be an hour-long screaming match over it. She blows on her coffee, shaking her head. Not cool. Right? Or we'd be out and a man would hold a door open for me and I'd thank him. Aaron would grab my arm, his fingers digging into my flesh, demanding to know why I was flirting. There'd be another fight. There's hot jealousy with boyfriends, and then there's just grossness. That is an example of grossness, she says. I agree. It never made sense, the things that upset him. And the fights always ended with me being the one to apologize. I feel bad talking ill about the dead, so I tell her about the good things too. But he was tender too, cooking for me, buying the wine I liked, taking me to his art exhibitions, telling me I was the most beautiful woman in the world. You know, the things boyfriends should do. But then I would misstep, finish a sentence for him, or laugh at someone else's joke too loudly and there'd be another fight. He sounds volatile. Her nose crinkles. He was. And the night of the accident, it all just came to a head. I feel that icy cold nausea creeping into my stomach whenever I think of that night. She puts her hand over mine. Want to stop there? Her kind eyes hold mine. She knows I don't want to talk about the rest. Thanks, Kimmy. It actually felt good to talk about him. It's been a while. She leans over and hugs me. I'm always here to talk. And Enid is probably ready with that manicure. Sounds like you deserve a little pampering after what you went through. We finish our coffees and link arms, making our way to Cash's office. Sure enough, there's a manicurist waiting for me wearing a crisp white apron. I instantly like her. Her teeth are piano key white against coppery brown skin, complemented by her thick purple cat-eye framed glasses. I admire her level of organization, a girl after my own heart. She's got an entire to-go nail salon set up neatly on the side table in Cash's office. Hello. She greets me with a friendly handshake. I'm Enid, and you must be Ella. Guilty. I laugh at my own little sick joke, my mind still reeling from thinking about the accident. Shaking the darkness from my demeanor, I smile at the neatly lined up rows of bright polish. You set all this up for me? Guilty, she jokes back. Have a seat. I sink down into the plush leather chair, dipping my fingertips in the waiting bowls of warm sudsy water. The soft scent of lavender reaches me and the stress oozes from my shoulders. Oh, this is heavenly. Maybe I'm rushing the whole quitting thing. Enjoy. She sits across from me, straightening an already perfectly lined up army of stools. What color are we thinking today? You'll pick. Enid's smile is so warm and friendly, and she has this adorable gap between her front teeth that's completely disarming. I think of the dress. Red. He likes red, but I want to be sure. I let the words rush out. Do you think you could ask Mr. Bachman what he likes best? Of course. Her face is an open book, kind with no judgment whatsoever. Let me text him for you. Thanks. I don't even know what I did with my phone. And besides, I lift a wet hand from the bowl. I'm all wet. No problem. My job is to make your life a little easier and treat you like the princess that you are, even if it's only for an hour. Thank you, I really appreciate that. She taps away at her phone. His reply comes back almost instantly. She smiles. Red. He likes fire engine red. She eyes my face, which will go amazing with your skin tone. Boy, did he ever. I clear my throat. All right then. Red it is. She gets to work, pushing cuticles and trimming and shaping my nails. We make small talk while she works, but she never looks up. Her focus on my nails is laser sharp. So, I ask, what's it like to work for the Bachmans? Honestly? She raises her brows. Yes? A dream come true. She buffs at my pinky nail, shaping it into an oval shape. The cool thing about the Bachmans is that no job is overlooked, no service deemed unworthy. I'm curious. What do you mean? She gives a shrug, focusing on her work as she talks. A few beauties came into the salon one day. They saw how passionate I was about my work, how I put my heart and soul into the nails I do. For me, it's an art form, a sense of pride. Nothing less than perfection is kind of my motto. Anyway, these women, they picked up on my vibe and they appreciated it. Like, really appreciated it. They saw me. She glances up, her eyes locking on mine. You know what I mean? I nod. I think so. This cute chick named Annabelle gave me the number for a woman in charge named Tess. She said the family was looking for a manicurist, someone they could trust. She told me I'd have to sign an NDA to work for the family. Then she told me the salary. Enid lets out a low whistle, stopping her work to push her glasses back up the bridge of her nose. For that amount of money, I'd keep anyone's secrets. She laughs. But seriously, it wasn't all about the money for me. It was the appreciation. They treat me no different than they do the outside accountants or big-wig political types that work for them. I like that. I get it. And I do. The pay they offer a secretary is outlandish. Why is our work less valued outside the Bachman world? Aren't we the ones keeping the business running behind the scenes? The Bachmans certainly value their employees' efforts. Yeah, and they actually show it in a tangible form instead of just tossing you scraps and telling you how much they appreciate you. She dabs my nails dry. Ready for polish? Yes. I watch her glide the shiny red lacquer on with the steady hands of a surgeon. Enid's words resonate with me. To be seen. Isn't that what we all want? Is that why I was so drawn to Cash that night in the graveyard? Why I signed up for this wild roller coaster of a ride? In that second when our eyes met, I felt like he saw me. It's silly, I know. Enid sighs as if she's reading my thoughts. You know, I think Cash really likes you. You're the first he's ever requested this service for. Really? I'm embarrassed by the hope that sneaks into my voice. Really? What I wouldn't give to be a beauty. Hasn't happened for me yet, but just like my mum says, love comes when you're not looking for it. So I'd best stop looking for it, hey? Pretty hard around here with all those gorgeous bachelors, though. She laughs and I laugh with her. Yeah, true. Love comes when you're not looking for it. And when I was walking under the moonlight in that graveyard, I sure as heck wasn't looking for love. I don't let the twinkling of hope burning in my chest come anywhere near my heart. Being loved never was my thing. Chapter 10. Ella. Enid's packed up and gone. The office seems super empty without her bubbly presence. I'm sitting at the table, nails spread out just like she instructed me. I'm to keep still for 10 more minutes to let them dry. I'm keeping my time on the clock on the wall. Cash comes thundering into the office, his jaw set like a bear trap. He comes in close, an angry heat emanating from him. I was coming to you to apologize for being such an ass last week, but then, what the hell is this? He's pushing a phone across the table to me. Keep your cool, Ella. You only have one more day of this madness to get through. I tried to catch his eye. Good morning? This is your idea of an apology? Yelling at me and shoving a phone in my face? Not a good morning, he growls, perching his ass on the edge of the table beside me and crossing his arms over his chest. He glowers down at me. Unfolding a long arm, he pushes the phone closer to me. Uh-oh. It's mine. Notifications blaring at the top, the entire screen filled with line after line of the word. Murderer. Shit. He taps a finger against the screen. Don't let your photographic memory fail you now. I heave a sigh, obediently retrieving the words from my mind. If there is any threat to my safety, perceived or otherwise, or potential harm to my person, I must report it immediately to Mr. Bachman. And what would you call these texts? A joke? I offer weakly. A threat. He captures my chin between his fingers, forcing my gaze to meet his. Do you know who this is? I shake my head. No, I honestly don't. He lets me go, reading my face with his heated gaze. You've gotten these before, haven't you? Yes, after everything happened. But then they stopped, and this morning was the first one, I promise. You should have informed me immediately. If you hadn't left your phone in the car, Ace wouldn't have seen these and I'd still be in the dark. So, Ace ratted me out. No pie for you, mister. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I just wanted to ignore it. You were not allowed to ignore your personal safety. Not anymore. And if you won't be responsible for it, I'll teach you to be. He grabs my elbow, pulling me to standing. Enid said 10 more minutes. I protest as he tugs me across the room toward the window. 10 more minutes for what? To let my nails dry? He stops just long enough to eye my hands, murmuring, Beautiful. You know I like the red. Was the manicure part of your failed attempt at an apology? I ask. Yes. He holds my gaze. And I'm sorry for being an ass the past few weeks. Thank you. His blue eyes go icy, sending shivers down my spine. But that doesn't get you out of trouble. You're still mine for the day. We reach the wall beside the window. He turns me to face the light gray wallpaper. Thin lines run through it like the bark on a tree. Flatten your hands against the wall. We wouldn't want to ruin your pretty nails. I move closer to the wall, pressing my hands into the paper. The lines in the pattern of the paper are ingrained, and I'm surprised by the feel of the texture. I fan my fingers, saving my perfect manicure. Like this? Yes. Now stand there and think about your personal safety and how you're going to make it your #1 priority while I get to the bottom of these texts. As if anticipating that I'm about to kick off these killer shoes, he adds, Heels on. Yes, sir. My words are a whisper, but I swear my heart is thrumming loudly enough to wake the dead. I'm having an out-of-body experience, seeing myself from the back, facing this wall, hands above my head, standing perfectly still. What if someone walks in and sees me? This is some kind of shameful naughty girl timeout. It's making me wet. I shift my weight on my heels, utterly humiliated by the heat coursing through my sex, the dampness between my bare thighs as I press them together. His gaze is hot on my back. It's like I can feel his eyes tearing into the backs of my calves, the side of my ass, the curve of my waist. His voice rumbles through the room. I swear, you get a text like this and you decide to ignore it? He gets angrier as he speaks. It's unbelievable. Sorry? I offer weakly. He growls. No talking. I run my fingertip over a line in the paper. Deep gray lines swirl against thin lines of shimmering silver. It's so beautiful. Like a work of art. He's got great taste. I can't believe... His lecture stops with a knock at the door. I hold in a groan. Someone's definitely going to see me in this precarious position. The thought both sickens and excites me. The two emotions twisting together, forming a tornado in my core, leaving me with a sharp swat on my ass that makes me jump. He moves toward his desk. Come in. I can come back. Preston's voice. There's a deep chuckle. If you're otherwise engaged. No, come in. We've got a matter I want handled right away. I hear the sigh of the leather chair as Preston takes a seat. My face burns just knowing he's looking at me. Did someone mess up the filing? He says. Is it possible to die of humiliation? No, she's an excellent secretary. Just cares more for organization than her own safety. Cash lowers his voice. We need to trace a message from her phone. Now. Got it. Let me take a look, Preston says. Silence fills the room. The only sound, my heart thumping in my ears. Okay. It sounds like Preston is tapping his fingers on the desk as he thinks. They've done a pretty tight job on this. Give me the phone for the afternoon. I'll have it back to you around 5 with some answers. Take it, Cash commands. I cringe, knowing Preston will have access to my private texts and emails. There's nothing really salacious in there, but still, it's weird. What choice do I have? My life could be on the line, and Cash is not someone I'm going to argue with over this. My privacy is a small price to pay if he can get the texts to stop. I'll walk you out, Cash says. There's a sound of footsteps as they step into the hall. There's some hushed whispering I try to ignore, focusing on my nails. They're filed in a way to complement the shape of my fingers, each one a flawless shiny red. Enid really is an artist. I shift my weight again. Going without panties was a bad idea. This whole shameful situation is so arousing. Knowing Preston knows I'm being punished, wondering what Cash will do to me next. My racing thoughts have my nipples tightening through my sweater. Yeah, should have gone with the bra too. Just focus on your nails, Ella. More footsteps coming toward me. The light, crisp scent of his cologne. The heat from his body. He's directly behind me. He moves in closer. I can feel the heat of his breath on the back of my neck. My eyes flutter closed, my palms going damp against the wall as his mouth moves to my ear. His hand cups my ass hard, fingers digging into my flesh. I gasp, shooting up on tiptoes. His words are fire. The heat races off his lips. My naughty girl, you look so pretty like this under my command. Your ass was tempting me through that whole meeting. He squeezes harder. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to distract you. I smile to myself. Preston has good news for you. It looks like your name is close to being cleared. He presses his chest against my back. Oh my God. Relief floods through me, my body relaxing against the wall. That is good news. I'm happy for you. His hand snakes around my waist, stroking my belly over my clothes, dipping just below my navel. You'll soon have this nightmare behind you. Yes, that's good. I've nothing left to say about the case. The relief I feel only heightens the pleasure I'm experiencing from his touch. I want his hands on me, all over my body. One word finally whispers its way off my tongue. Please. Please what? The tip of his tongue lashes out against the lobe of my ear. What does my pretty girl want? Touch me. Please. Sir. My fingernails dig into the ridges of the wallpaper. His chest presses against my back as his body envelops mine. The hardness of his growing erection nestles between the cheeks of my ass. His hands move to my waist, his lips finding the back of my neck and covering it with a trail of fiery kisses. His hand slips beneath my sweater, hot against the cool skin of my trembling torso. Yes, I moan, my head tilting to the side. I move to reach behind me, to make some kind of contact of my own, but his voice cuts through the room. Keep your hands where they are. I obey while his hand moves higher. My teeth sink into my lip, my breath getting caught in my chest as he caresses my breast. He takes my peaked nipple between his fingers, giving it a tweak. No bra. I like it. Is that a rule now? I tease, letting my head loll against his shoulder. He pinches me tighter. Hell yes, it is. Pain and pleasure meld and I find my breath, sucking it in between my teeth. Too bad this is the last time I'll feel this way. There's my girl. So responsive. His fingers tangle into the necklace, pulling it tight around my neck. He kisses my ear, nipping at my flesh. Where else do you want me to touch you? You know where. Tongue against teeth. He makes a sound. Say it. I've never been a dirty talker. It's not that I didn't want to, I just didn't have the confidence. Now, he's got me pressed against the wall and he's making me say the filthy words. A rush of excitement and shame washed through me as the words slip off my tongue. I want you to touch my pussy. There's a good girl. Now beg for it. Please, sir. Please make me come. He gives my breast a farewell squeeze. His fingers are on the zipper at the back of my skirt. He runs the zipper down the crack of my ass, exposing the cleft of my cheeks. He gives a low whistle. No panties either. Now that's definitely a rule. I want to reach back, to touch him, to run my hand through his hair or grab the handle of his hip, but I keep my hands against the wall like a good girl, my palms pressing into the textured paper. He slips one hand down the back of my skirt, trapping my ass cheek in his big palm. His other slides down the front of my skirt, fingers dancing in my slick folds. I release the moan I've been holding, melting against him. You like that? You like my fingers on you? Yes, sir. I move my feet apart, giving him better access to pleasure me. I really do. Pleasure travels through my body like pulses of electricity. He slips a thick finger inside of me, his lips hot against my neck. And you're going to be my good girl now? You're going to make your safety a priority? Oh God, this man is filthy. Telling me to be his good girl while his fingers move inside me? Yes, sir. Good, because if you don't, next time it's my belt against your ass. A little whine rises in the back of my throat at his threat. Would I let him do that? Would I like it? Desire courses through me. I am a little freak, aren't I? I suddenly want to be naughty. I want to be laid across his desk and feel the sting of his belt as it lands on my ass. I want my contract to never end. You just got so much wetter. He slips a second finger inside me, stretching me. You like the sound of that, don't you? You want to be my bad little girl. The scandalous answer slips off my tongue. Uh-huh. He gives a dark chuckle, his fingers moving back to my clit. Does my bad girl want me to fuck her? Oh, shit. His slick pads make rhythmic circles around my swollen clit. It throbs for him. My hips start to move against him, my ass grinding into him. His fingers dive into the curve of my ass. His other hand keeps working those magical circles. Yes. Oh, yes. My mind goes hazy. I feel as if I'm floating through clouds. I'm nothing but the sensation from his touch. I'm so close to coming. My breaths come in pants, my hips rocking. His hands are gone now, grabbing the waistband of my skirt and thrusting it down, down, down till it hits the floor and I wear nothing from the waist down. I remember to keep my hands against the wall. The sound of his belt unbuckling almost makes me come. He's back. I can feel his heat against me. The fronts of his thighs press into the backs of mine. His talented hand snakes around my waist, finding its way back to the spot it just left. But he teases me, his fingertips dancing in the air, my pussy just out of reach. I want to rake my nails down this wall, tear the paper from it, and scream. Instead, I muster an obedient whisper. Please, sir, fuck the hell out of me. He laughs, a full throaty laugh, and he grabs me, fingers digging into my hip bones as he pulls me into him. His erection presses against me, practically making me pant with need. Please. He parts my legs, the head of his cock finding my slick entrance, and he thrusts hard, filling me and raising me up on tiptoe. He's got me so worked up. One fucking thrust and I'm exploding in climax. Oh fuck, Cash! Oh God! A sharp smack lands on my ass. That's sir to you. He grabs my flesh in his hands, squeezing what he can reach of my ass. Sir, He's big and hard, and even though I have to stretch to accommodate him and it makes me burn, it hurts so good. The pain is fleeting and melts away the second his finger finally makes contact with my clit again. He gives another thrust and I'm back to where I started, the beginning wave of another climax surging through my core. A feral-like need to fuck and be fucked strengthens each time he slams into me. His hand leaves my ass, grabbing my long ponytail. He winds it around his fist. His fingers dance their deft dance and he gives my hair a sharp tug, taking me to another level as raging primal desire thrums through my core. My mouth is gaping, my head thrown back, a silent scream lost on my lips. My palms are damp and I fear I'm destroying his wallpaper with my nails clawing into it to anchor me onto this earth. But I also don't care about anything other than reaching that pinnacle once more, even harder than the first time. I see the marks I made on your neck yesterday. It only makes me harder for you. He gives my hair another sharp pull, bringing his mouth to my ear. His breath is scorching. Come for me, baby. Come hard. Fuck. Is it possible for someone's voice to be so sexy it pushes you over the edge and makes you come? My back arches, a strange, strangled sound erupting from my throat as the searing tingles of the tug of my hair run down my neck, meeting the hurricane in my core. The sensation sends me ricocheting against him as I come. Hard. So hard. There are stars behind my eyelids. Breathing has ceased to exist. My knees turn to jelly as another shockwave travels through my entire body. He holds me against him as I collapse. He releases my ponytail, smoothing a stray hair away from my face. His lips are feather-light against my cheek as he brushes a chaste kiss there. There's my girl. Am I his girl? I want nothing more than to be his girl. I give a shuddering exhale. That was such a release. Thank you. My pleasure. He releases me with a slap on my ass and a fiery kiss on the back of my neck. Time to get back to work. And just like that, we're back to business. He brings my skirt up over my hips for me before he readjusts his own clothing. My trembling fingers find my zipper, working it up to my waist. I teeter on the legs of a newborn fawn, straightening my clothes to leave his office. I give him a parting glance, but he's already settled at his desk, glasses on the bridge of his nose, papers in hand. And I'm forgotten. A lesser woman might find it hard to get back to work after such an earth-shattering set of orgasms, or being dismissed so quickly. But for me, order is the cure for chaos. That was the last time we'll be together. I quickly clean up in the bathroom, splash a little cold water on my face and fix my ponytail. I find Kimmy and we get down to our task for the day, reorganizing boxes of dusty old files in the Enterprise's basement. And I try to ignore those little tugs I feel on my heartstrings, the ones that tell me I don't want to leave. Lunch comes and afterward I borrow a 20 from Kimmy, explaining I forgot my wallet and promising to pay her back as soon as possible. Feeling forgiving toward Ace, he was only looking out for me after all. I pick up a fresh blueberry pie from the best bakery in town. They package it in a crisp white box and tie a pretty Tiffany blue bow around it. I love this city. You can buy anything. I think of my contract. Even people. The afternoon is spent trying not to think about Cash's fingers on me while I sit at a desk in the common front area, my fingers flying across the keys of my brand new desktop computer entering data. It's quitting time. My stomach fills with rocks and my throat feels all weird. My hands shake, the letter in them getting damp from my sweaty palms. I look for Cash, but he's not in his office. Instead, I find my phone, cleaned and shiny with a brand new, very expensive-looking, classy black case. There's a note next to it. Don't forget about our little chat today. Little chat. As in the threat to tear up my ass with his leather belt if I don't take my safety to heart? I grab my phone, setting it on top of my pie box. 10-4, boss. Any more rotten texts and you'll be the first to know. I promised the empty office. At least if they come before you read this letter, and I'm no longer your problem. The apology manicure, the phone case, the ever-present concern for my safety, the heated whisper of, "There's my girl," the undeniable electricity between us. The way all the girls tell me he's into me. I'm so confused. I stare down at the letter, the curving words, Mr. Bachman, staring back at me. Now I'm not so sure about quitting. I slip the letter into the pocket of my skirt. I can always call on Monday morning. I rush down to the car to meet Ace. He's so thrilled with my gift, I not only get a smile, I get a fist bump as well. "No one's ever bought me a pie." He sounds genuinely touched. Thanks for looking out for me. Our eyes meet in the mirror and the understanding passes between us that I know he turned me in. He gives a gruff nod. "Don't hide this stuff from us. We're here for the helping." Thanks. You know, I could help with your English if you would like. All these silly American sayings can be quite confusing, can't they? He grunts, eyeing me in the mirror. I shoot him what I hope is a disarming smile. He's melting. "Okay, teacher, tell me, what does this mean when someone says a task is going to be a piece of cake? It makes no sense." "That means it will be easy. Next." "Okay, how about it's not rocket science? I'm always thinking, of course we're not talking about rocket science here." "Just another one that means the task is simple or easy. Give me another one." His brows knit together in frustration. "This one really stumped me the other day. Very strange. I was monitoring landscapers working on the grounds at the village and they got into a fight over how to mend a fence. One of them suggested a quick fix and the other said that would just be putting lipstick on a pig. What the hell does that mean?" I hold in a giggle. I don't want him to think I'm laughing at him. It might stop him from asking me questions. "Yeah, that's a silly one. Lipstick on a pig means you're just trying to gloss over a problem. Like you said, a quick fix. Any more?" "Not at the moment." His brow relaxes. "Thank you." "Sure." I reach up, putting a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You have my number. Anytime you have a question, just shoot me a text, okay?" He gives a gruff nod. "Okay." And never, ever be embarrassed about asking me questions. That's how we all learn. I give his shoulder a squeeze before I pull back. He gives me a, "Yes, teacher." We ride in a comfortable silence the rest of the way to my apartment. I quickly Venmo Kimmy back for the pie and lunch. When we reach the building, I sit and wait for Ace to open my door. Ace looks like he wants to follow me up to my door. "You want me to come up?" "I'm fine, I promise." He gives an exasperated sigh. "I know you modern women don't want to be escorted every minute of the day. I'll wait here until you text me you're safe inside." "Deal." I feel the big man's eyes on me, a steady, comforting, protective presence as I buzz myself in. The hall is dark. A bulb is burned out and the super isn't really a fix-it guy. I reach for my door, my perfectly polished nails poised over the screen of my phone, ready to tap out a message to Ace. Bright, red, angry, spray-painted letters make my fingers freeze in place. "Murderer" is painted across my front door. Tendrils of icy vines creep up my spine. What the hell? I look down at the knob. The door is cracked, slightly ajar. Whoever did this, they could still be here, in my apartment, waiting for me. I turn, running down the hall. No matter where I stand with him, his is the voice I want to hear. With shaking fingers, I dial his number. He picks up on the first ring. "Ella?" "Cash. I need you." Chapter 11. Cash. What is it? What happened? The fear in her voice spikes an animal-like need in me to protect her. Her words shake. Someone was at my apartment. Adrenaline courses through my veins. Where are you now? I'm in the car with Ace. Thank God. I run a hand over the back of my neck, some degree of relief rushing through me. I put her on speaker, texting Ace, demanding he bring her straight to me. What happened? Who was there? When I got home, the door was cracked open and that word from the texts? Murderer. Anger pulses in my bloodstream. Yes. It was spray painted on my door. Her voice shakes. Blood red letters. I'm so sorry. Heat and hatred burn through me. I'll kill whoever is doing this to her. Ace is bringing you here now. You'll be safe with me. Thank you. A gushing sigh of relief exhales from her chest. For taking me in. I really don't want to be alone tonight. I understand. I don't say it, but I've already made my decision. This isn't a one-night thing. She's not leaving, and I'm not letting her out of my sight. Betty is here. She can cook for you and measure you for clothes. We can order whatever you want. I don't want you anywhere near that apartment. You don't have to do that. I'm fine, really. I don't need any special treatment. Ella. I cut her off. She's shaken up. I want her grounded. And I want her to accept my care because it's pretty fucking non-negotiable. It's still my day. Recite clauses 6 and 7 to me, right now. Her voice is still shaky, but she's sounding better already. If I need any items for my wardrobe or personal health, I will request these from Mr. Bachman, and he will incur the charge. While under Mr. Bachman's care, I will see the family physician and care for my health. I will also follow all of Mr. Bachman's instructions as far as my personal safety is concerned. Good girl. Now for the hard part for a stubborn girl like you. Actually obeying the terms. Right. She gives a little laugh. The sound fills me with some kind of strange happiness I've not felt before. I like that I made her laugh. Cash? Her voice goes quiet, soft like she's about to speak from her heart and not her mind. Yes? I hang on her next words. Is that all I am to you? Sadness etched with hope trembles in her tone. A contract? The question shatters me. I don't know how this started or who or what I thought she was going to be in my life when I invited her in, but I sure as hell didn't see this coming. Her turning my world upside down, making a snug little residence in my mind, sending desire for her pulsing through my veins, not just for her body, but for her mind, for her spirit. I want all of her. I should tell myself to get my head on straight, that my life is so full of responsibilities I can't take on one more thing. I can't take on this girl. But it's way too late for that. Ella Hart has already ingrained herself into the very fiber of my being. Fuck this holding back. I'm big enough for Christian and Ella. I can handle anything. Cash? She makes my name a question. No, Ella. You're much more than a contract to me. I'm going to take care of you. She gives a shuddering sigh, exhaling a breathy, "See you soon," and hangs up the phone. I pace the windows, searching for Ace's headlights. The second I see them, I jog down the 3 flights of stairs, 2 at a time, flinging the front door open. I'm to her car before Ace even pulls to a full stop. Ella. Her dark eyes reach mine. Our gazes lock, and there's something so needy in her eyes a tug pulls through my chest. Then she's done something I never anticipated. She throws herself into my arms. Oh, Cash, I was so scared. The feel of her in my arms. The feel of her against me. My breath catches in my throat as I wrap myself around her. I wish my body was a bulletproof cage I could keep her in for the rest of my life. I'm not taking any more chances. I made a mistake, but it will be my last, I promise you. I smooth my hand over her silky hair, inhaling the warm scent that is hers alone. I should have had you stay here the second I knew about those damn texts. It's fine, I'm here now. She stares up at me, beauty emanating from the smile on her face, making it even harder to breathe. I run my hands over her hips, bringing her to me for a kiss. Something crinkles in her pocket. What's this? I ask, slipping an envelope from the pocket of her skirt. Her eyes go wide when she sees it. Oh, I was going to leave that on your desk today. Remember I told you I was going to quit? Maybe I remember you saying something about that, but I was distracted at the time. A blush rises in her cheeks. I changed my mind, I guess. I didn't leave it. Then when I got to my apartment, I don't know. She shakes her head. I just wanted you. I take the envelope, slipping it into my pants pocket. I accept your resignation and officially dissolve your contract. Her eyes flash. What do you mean? I mean, I'll take care of your bills. You're staying with me until we figure things out and make sure you're safe. But I'm not your boss anymore, and there's no more contract. Are you sure? Yes. She eyes me shyly. Can we still do some of the things in the contract? I like you being in charge. Oh, sweetheart, I'm never not in charge of you. I lean down, brushing a chaste kiss over her cheek. Contract or not. She gives me a smile that makes my chest warm. This girl is going to melt me if I'm not careful. I search her face, taking stock of her emotions. She is shaken but strong. Anything you need Ace to go back to your apartment for? Anything we can't replace? She shakes her head. I just need my purse. It's hanging inside the doorway. Glasses, contacts, meds? Nope. Color rises in her cheeks. I mean, I am on one med, but it's in my purse. What med would make her blush like this? Right. Birth control. Got it. She shoots me an appreciative look that makes me want to slay her dragons, climb her tower, save her from everything and anything that could ever hurt her. First things first. I send Ace for her bag and some comfortable clothes. How is it that after knowing this girl for such a short time, I'd lay my life down for her? What started as a simple contract is quickly spinning out of control, and I'm going to let it. For once, I'm going to let someone, messily upend the plan I've laid out for my life. And damn, is she a beautiful mess. Our eyes lock and an understanding passes between us. We are more than our beginning. I lean down, pressing my mouth against hers, sparks of fire dancing on our lips. I wrap my arm around her shoulders, guiding her to the door. Let's get you inside. Betty is dying to meet you. Betty? I don't think I've heard you mention her. She's technically my housekeeper/cook, but really, she's my boss. Someone bosses you around? Her eyes widen. I have to meet this woman. I have to laugh at that. I think I've laughed more in the past few weeks than I have all year. She has that effect on me. She makes me feel lighter. I grab her hand, pulling her into the safety of my house. The place already feels brighter with her here. Her heels click against the hardwood floor of the foyer. She tugs my hand, pulling me to a stop. Her eyes going wide as she takes in my place. Oh, wow! This place is beautiful. I've driven by these row homes every day wondering what they looked like inside, but this exceeds all expectations. Would you like a tour? Yes, please. We should start upstairs because the kitchen is down here, and Betty is cooking enough food for an army. Once you go in there, well, it's kind of like a vortex. Her powers are strong and you can't leave till she lets you. She puts a hand to her flat stomach. I won't put up a fight. I'm suddenly starving. We make our way up the first flight of stairs. Okay, but you've got to have something healthy, too. Not just those cheeseburgers and pizza slices you and Kimmy love for your lunches. We reach the landing and her nose crinkles as she looks at me. I did have a side salad instead of fries. Once. Well, I'm keeping a close eye on you. I take her hand, leading her up the second flight of stairs to the third floor. She's a few steps ahead of me, her curvaceous ass rolling as she rises. I smooth my hand over it, giving it a pat. So you'd best be on your best behavior. Yes, sir. She gives a little giggle, tossing a look over her shoulder that just about has me bending her over these stairs to repeat what we did in my office this afternoon. She hesitates, then asks me, "Would you like me to call you Sir all the time, or is it okay to call you Cash? It just kind of came out when I first saw you tonight." "That was perfectly fine. You'll know when to call me Sir and when to call me Cash. Use your discretion." "Got it, Cash." She flashes that damn smile that got us here in the first place. The whole third floor is my bedroom and a spa-like massive all-marble bathroom that I spend about 10 minutes a day in. I think they were designed by the Beauties, for the Beauties. She oohs and ahs over the bank of windows that look out onto the street, giving a virginal blush as she eyes the king bed and its gray linen bedding. Nice. The second floor really grabs her attention. There's an office I've converted to a library. Shelves lined with leather-bound books from floor to ceiling. She takes it all in, even doing a little twirl in the middle of the room. "This is magical." "Borrow anything you want," I say, having to clear the lump from my throat. The door to the guest room is slightly ajar. Pink gauze and silver sparkles everywhere. Ella peeks around the corner of the door before I can pull it shut. "Oh!" Then it hits her that it's pretty damn creepy for a single man who's hit 30 to have a girly, pink, sparkly princess bedroom in his house. Her dark brows knit together and the question I've been dreading forms on her pretty pout. Cash? Why do you have a story for another day," I say, pulling the door shut. She gives me a funny look but lets it go. I like that she trusts me. This is a new feeling for me. I haven't cared much about what women think of me in the past. We finally make it downstairs to the kitchen. Betty wipes her hands on her apron, smoothing back a strand of her silver hair. Her eyes go like saucers when she sees Ella. "Dear, oh, to finally meet you. What a joy." I may have mentioned Ella to Betty a few times. Betty rushes over, taking Ella into her arms. She's about a head shorter than Ella. Instead of being taken aback by Betty's overly familiar welcome, Ella hugs her back warmly. "So nice to meet you, too. I told Cash I just had to meet the woman who gets to boss him around." Ella throws me a teasing glance. I have to say, I'm a little jealous. "Oh, pooh. He acts like a lion, but he's really a kitten on the inside." "I'm a kitten?" I cock a brow at Betty. "Really?" Betty gives an exasperated sigh. "Okay, well, not a kitten, but more like a tamed lion once you get to know him." She moves to me and, standing on tiptoe, plants a kiss on my cheek. "A little sharp around the edges, but he's a good man." Thanks, Betty. Uncomfortable to have the attention on me, I turn it with the best tool I have, getting her to feed people. You know, Ella here mentioned she was hungry. That's all it takes. Betty becomes a stout little whirlwind, ushering Ella to a stool at the marble island in the center of the kitchen. Minutes later, she's got a piping bowl of corn chowder and a generous slab of homemade bread and butter in front of our guest. Betty engages Ella in conversation, careful not to ask anything too personal, putting Ella completely at ease. It's a gift of Betty's, putting people at ease. And the reason I've kept her so long. She's the only one I let my guard down around. I watch Ella, a warm feeling akin to happiness spreading through my chest. She looks like she belongs here. "Isn't that right, Cash?" Ella asks me with a smile. Sorry. I shake my head from my thoughts. What was that? "Oh, I said Betty would love Kimmy, don't you think?" "Kimmy?" "Sorry, Kim." Ella raises her brows. "From work?" "Sure, she's nice." Kim will never step foot in my home, or meet Betty. "Cash doesn't like to mix his work life and his home life. You're the first person he's brought home other than family and, well," her brow crinkles as she thinks, "ever. You're the only one." Betty shoots me a look. "Now isn't that something?" "Ella, you must be tired," I say. "Should we get you to bed?" Betty looks crestfallen. "What about dessert? I've got cake or cookies or—" "Thank you, but this chowder and bread hit the spot. I couldn't eat another bite." She gives Betty a wink. "But I've been known to have cake for breakfast." Save some for me tomorrow, okay? I grab the bag of clothes Ace left for her and carry it to the 3rd floor. Even though I've seen every inch of her body, she's shy now that things have shifted between us. She closes the bathroom door quietly behind her and returns makeup free in sweats and a tee. She somehow manages to look even sexier than she does when she's all dolled up for work. I lie on the bed, patting the space beside me. Come here. She makes her way across the floor, her bare feet patting on the wood. She crawls up into my bed, curling up against me. She nestles into the crook of my arm, her cheek on my chest. Her warmth against my body is as close to heaven as I've ever been. I stare down at her face. She looks like an angel when she sleeps, all the worry and trouble melting from her face. Do you want to talk about what happened? I ask. I'd rather not, if that's okay. She yawns, stretching. I think I just need to rest. I lean over and kiss the top of her head. Sleep. You're safe here with me. Minutes later, her body feels heavier against mine, her breath deep and even. She's asleep. A text comes through on her phone, the notification sound breaking through the peace of the night. I move slowly, reaching over her to where it lays beside her, careful not to disturb her. It's from Ace's number. That's funny. Why would he be texting her? Tell me, teacher, what is a fanny pack? She must be helping him with this English. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I can't leave him hanging. I tap back a response. It's like a purse, but you wear it around your waist. The phone bing-bongs again. I pick the phone back up, ready to tell Ace to quit texting my girl so late if he wants to keep his job. But it's not him. It's from the unknown number we're tracking. Another message, all caps. I know what you did. I hit delete and turn off her phone. Chapter 12. Ella. Why the hell does my boyfriend... Wait, is he my boyfriend? Holy cow. We didn't have the conversation. But if a man basically asks you to move into his Manhattan townhome after one threatening message... Yeah, he's your boyfriend. Right? I'm lying on his chest, but I'm in danger of falling into that deep sleep where you're snoring like a 90-year-old man and leaving a puddle of drool the size of Lake Michigan on your boyfriend's chest kind of sleep. And I want to ask about that little pink perfect bedroom. Like, why does a billionaire bachelor have a princess room in his house? So, Cash, about that room we saw... He heaves a deep sigh. Not for tonight, baby. Can it wait? Can an explanation for why a 30-year-old man is harboring a dream room for a 5-year-old girl in his townhome in the middle of a hidden village that I have yet to see a single child in wait until morning? My eyelids grow heavy as my cheek rests against his perfectly sculpted pecs, and I decide, hell yeah, it can wait. I trust him. And after the day I've had, I'm tired AF. I drift off to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning, I'm pleasantly surprised. No drool. I look for my phone, but it's not by my left hip where I left it. It's on his nightstand, the screen turned off. Either the battery died or my annoying notification sound pissed him off and he silenced it. Who cares about a stupid phone? All I want is him inside of me, and then a huge portion of whatever dessert Betty put aside for me for breakfast. We're lying in my favorite position, spoon inside of spoon, me inside of his arms. I wiggle my hips, wanting him. His cock instantly hardens, nestling between the cheeks of my ass. I love that power. One move from me has him hard and wanting, and the poor thing isn't even awake yet. I give another roll of my hips, and he responds with a low moan. My God, woman, what are you trying to do to me? He has my sweats and panties down around my knees, the head of his cock pushing into my entrance. I'm ready for him. I spread my legs slightly, letting him in, and the pressure of his cock thrusting into my sex sends stars behind the lids of my eyes. Fuck. Something about being here in his bed, my bare legs slipping against his 90 bazillion thread count sheets sends me into another realm, and I think I'm going to come before he even sticks it to me twice. But as he enters me again, my body turns to liquid, My arms reach back, winding around his neck and his waist, pulling him closer as he moves inside me harder, faster. His hands claim my breasts, manipulating my sex in time with the punishing pummels of his rock-hard cock. "Cash," I whine, my tone getting higher as he rocks his hips against my ass. "Fuck me." "What the hell do you think I'm doing, baby girl?" He groans as he plunges inside me. That makes me chuckle, a deep, throaty, sexy noise rising from the back of my throat. "I know, but I like to say it," I moan. "Fuck. I love it when you say it. Say it again." His fingers slip between my folds, gathering my slickness and rubbing against my clit. His touch sends electric pulses surging through my limbs. My muscles tighten until I think I might implode. Luckily, I don't spontaneously combust. Instead, the combination of his touch and his thrusting makes the tension in my muscles rise until they tighten and explode into a raging rush of release. The 10-foot crest of a wave crashing onto the shore. I reach back, running my hand through the hair on the back of his head. Cash, I really like you." I freeze. Oh, shit. What did I just say? If you could die of embarrassment. I'd have thought I'd have died when he shaved me. But no, this is a whole new low. I wait in terror, dread a heavy lead in my gut for his reaction. He gives a low growl, his breath ruffling my hair. "I fucking really like you too, baby." His lips press against my hair. My heart wells in my chest, but the orphan of my past whispers in my ear that I'll never be good enough for a man this generous and, let's be honest here, gorgeous. Why would he ever let a plain-looking teacher or murderer like me stay in his 90 bazillion thread count sheet bed? Him, Cash Bachman, the man that is now using his deft fingers to play my clit like a mandolin as he gives me a second earth-shattering orgasm before he comes kind of man. And of course, like always, I let my intrusive, anxious thoughts interrupt, potentially ruining the moment. "Cash?" I ask as he thrusts inside me with a Neanderthal-like moan. "What was that pink guest room all about?" His fingertips dig into my hips as he gives a growl of victory. "You'll find out soon enough." "What do you mean?" I ask. My voice is heady with the aftershock of the preceding orgasm. He gives my ass a stinging, solitary slap as he pulls out. "Just like I said. Shower?" His word is so authoritative, so final. I give up, letting him scoop me from the mattress and carry me to his massive, heated shower room with double-rain shower heads. He washes my hair, his fingertips massaging my scalp with a very expensive-smelling shampoo. Then he kneads lavender-scented suds into the muscles of my shoulders and back. He washes me clean, every inch. Then he towels me dry. As he rubs the fluffy terry cloth towel between each of my toes, I heave a sigh thinking of Kimmy and Enid's catchphrase. "Oh, to be a beauty." Am I a beauty? I mean, here I am, in his shower, in his bed, being fed by his housewoman for an undefined length of time. Why would he invest this much in me if he wasn't in it for the long haul? Suddenly, I'm seeing a little red leather box scripted with the gold letters of Bachman's jeweler in my future, followed by a wedding fit for one of the royals, a silk and lace Vera Wang gown, and icing on a very large 3-tiered cake. Earth to Ella, come back to us. Cash might be into you, but it's just a fleeting altruistic obsession he'll suddenly be cured of when he comes to his senses and realizes what a hot mess he's entangled his cock in. Hello? I'm not even cleared as a freaking murder suspect yet. Nothing kills romance like the classic, "Yeah, I might be responsible for the demise of my artistic yet very unstable ex-boyfriend" vibe. Cash's deep voice echoes through my cavern of self-deprecating thoughts. "Hey babe, we need to get dressed. I'm sure Betty's got breakfast waiting, and then..." He gives a dramatic pause. "We're expecting visitors." Okay, I'm definitely not overthinking this whole insta-love 2-carat diamond if he's saying we have visitors, right? "Ella, seriously, get your ass in gear before I blister it," He slaps my ass and I leap into the closet with a squeal. Get dressed. The closet is full of clothes Betty ordered for you. Ignoring the stinging in my ass, I run my gaze over the hangers filled with cashmere and wool, all in colors that not only suit my skin tone, they positively make it radiant. How did she know what size I am? And I got here around 6. How did she get these after store hours? But I already know the answer before it slips from his honeyed lips. We Bachmans have our ways. Of course you do, I answer, but my tone must be a little cheekier than I intended because another swift, stinging swat lands on my rear. Ow! Get dressed. He leaves me with one hand rubbing the sting out of my ass, the other flipping through hundreds of dollars of high-quality garments. Who are we meeting anyway? Who are these guests? I ask, trying to decide between black and cream-colored cashmere sweaters, both with adorable gold buttons inching their way from the shoulder seam to the neck. No answer. I look over my shoulder. He's gone. I settle on air-dried hair, no makeup, and the black sweater with skin-tight jeans that fit like a glove. How the hell did Betty know exactly what to order me? Barefoot, I make my way down the stairs like this is very much my very own home. I reach the foyer. Cash is dressed in a camel-colored V-neck and dark jeans. He looks like $1,000,000, and a little joke makes my hand rise to cover my mouth with a self-conscious laugh at my pun-like thought. He gives me the brow. What's so funny this morning? The fact that I'm actually letting you eat cake for breakfast? I want to ask him who the guests are, but the prospect of Betty's homemade desserts takes over my brain. Oh, cake! I'd forgotten all about my dessert for breakfast plan. And maybe, hopefully, coffee? There's always a fresh pot of coffee in this house. Come. He takes my hand, leading me to the kitchen. The island countertop looks like a damn bakery. Betty's outdone herself. I can't help but feel a little ping of hope in my heart that she likes me. Why else would she go to all this trouble? Betty is far too generous, I say as I pad over to the island. My mouth practically waters as I gaze over my options. Pie, crumble cake, blondies. The smell of fresh coffee hits me and I go for the crumble cake, slicing a small piece onto a plate. I think she likes you, he says. Yes! I slip onto a bar stool, taking a bite of the cake. Cinnamon and butter rush my taste buds. Wow, she's good. She's the best. He slides a cup of coffee over to me. He's already put the right amount of cream in it. It's exactly the proper shade of beige. He's been paying attention. Aren't you going to have any? I ask. He pats his washboard abs through his sweater. Just black coffee for me. Suit yourself, I say, happily digging into my idea of the perfect breakfast. When I'm finished, I tidy up the kitchen. Finally, I ask him, Cash, who's coming over today? His brow crinkles. It's complicated. Just tell me. But before he can answer, the doorbell rings. His blue eyes cut to mine. An unsure layer of warmth lies behind them. Here we go, Ella. Welcome to my world. There's no turning back now. We walk to the foyer, and before I can question him, he's opening the door. And a tiny bundle of blonde, curly pigtails bursts through the doorway and is throwing herself into my arms, calling, Miss Hart! I open my arms, not expecting the gift the universe is offering me. A warm hug from the smallest person I've ever felt my heart aching for. Janie! I squeeze her tightly, then pull away from her, holding her at arm's length, studying her perfect little round face. Is it really you? She nods, a beaming smile stretching across her face, 2 deep dimples appearing at the corners of her mouth. It's me, Miss Hart. I pull her into another deep hug. It's just Ella now, I say. Ella, I like the sound of that. Her reply raises the sound of chuckles from the adults in the room. Janie, you know Ella? Cash asks. Isn't this city a small world, Miss Hart? I look up, finding the voice comes from Janie's father, Mr. Christian Taylor. I stand, smoothing my hands over the thighs of my jeans. Mr. Taylor! I wasn't expecting to see you again. My nervous gaze turns from Cash to Christian, wanting an explanation. What the hell are Janie and her dad doing here? Did Cash pull some strings and sweet-talk Ms. Frost into giving me my old job back? Are Mr. Taylor and Janie here to tell me I'm hired back? That all's forgiven? What are you doing here, Mr. Taylor? I say. Cash intervenes. Christian's my brother. I knew you worked at the school, but I didn't put two and two together that you were Janie's teacher until just now. This is crazy. It's a big school, I say, taking a deep breath through the coincidence of it all. A deep sadness I can't understand settles into Christian's gaze. Cash is Janie's uncle. Janie's going to start spending every other weekend over here. You know, to break her uncle in. Every bachelor needs to know how to handle kids, right? His gaze searches mine desperately, begging me to play along with whatever game this is that I've not been given the rulebook to. I nod, giving Janie the brightest smile I can muster. Oh my gosh, of course! What every bachelor needs is a good girl in his life. The pink sparkling room pops into my mind, suddenly making sense. And a little pink and sparkles, am I right? Janie gives a serious nod. I have no idea what's going on here, but at least I know who the room is for. I grab her hand in mine. Uncle Cash has been working hard on your room. Do you want to see it? I can take you for a tour. I give her hand a reassuring squeeze. She looks up at me with wide, trusting eyes. Yes, please, Ella. I take her up to the second floor, making small talk along the way, the brothers right behind us. I find out her favorite color is still pink. Surprise. But her crush has gone from a spiky-haired kid named Cleo to a shy but kind dark-haired boy named Sebastian. He's very kind. Good taste, I tell her. I look to Cash for his okay before I reach for the knob. I don't want to steal his big reveal, but to be honest, he seems slightly overwhelmed by his new responsibility for this adorable little tornado of princess energy. He gives me a nod of relief and I start the countdown. Okay, Janie, I say as I grab the knob. Count down from 5. She purses her little lips, remembering our lesson on counting backward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I throw the door open and her eyes instantly light up. Her hands fly over her gaping mouth as she takes in the room her uncle painstakingly decorated for her. She rushes from corner to corner, declaring in her high, sweet, sing-songy voice, There's a canopy bed, and a desk with arts and crafts, and oh look, a dollhouse. She falls to her knees, immediately arranging the furniture and people in the dollhouse exactly how she wants them. Look, there's a mini canopy bed just like mine. Cash looks to me, almost sheepish. He sneaks a whisper to me. Did I do okay? His blue eyes search mine for approval. My hand flutters to my too full heart in my chest. You did just perfect, Cash. You really did. I glance at Christian. He stands in the doorway watching Janie with a haunted look in his sunken eyes. Have the circles beneath his eyes darkened since I last saw him? Upon further inspection, he's not just standing in the doorway. He looks to be leaning on the frame of the door for support. Christian's dispirited gaze hooks into mine. She's going to be fine here. She's going to be all right. Right, Ella? I don't know what is going on or what my responsibility is in this interaction, but the weight of his gaze and the final tone in his words make me swallow down a tightness in my throat. I cross the room to him, put a comforting hand on his shoulder and give it a squeeze. I make him a promise, but I don't really know what it entails. Hell, I don't really even know what's going on here, but I know the words he needs to hear. I give a nod of commitment. Of course she is, Christian. She's going to be just fine. Good. A look of deep relief lightens the worried lines in his face. That's good to hear. I give a tight smile, suddenly an intruder on some kind of intense family moment I certainly don't belong in. Janie's enthralled with her new dollhouse, and I make my excuses, leaving the brothers in the room. I pull the bedroom door closed behind me. I need a minute. I have no idea what's going on with Mr. Taylor, Christian, or Cash or Janie. I give my head a shake, heading up to Cash's bedroom. I need to grab my phone. The battery didn't die. He turned it off. I slip onto his bed, Propping myself up on the pillows, I press my finger against the power button, waiting for the screen to come to life. As soon as I see the text messages waiting for me, I instantly regret my decision to turn the damn thing on. There's a long string of messages, one after the other, each one making a weight sink heavier in my gut, all repeating, "I know what you did. I 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 know what you did." Chapter 13. Cash. "Dude, don't scare her away with your heavy questions," I tell Christian. "She has no idea what's going on here." "Sorry, bro. I forget sometimes. Life is just so real now, you know? I can't stand the small talk bullshit." "Daddy?" Janie cuts her eyes over her shoulder at my brother. "Sorry, darling. I didn't mean to cuss." She goes back to her dollhouse, and I move across the room to him. He lowers his voice. "It's just that Ella gets it. You know what I mean? She can handle reality. I always got that feeling from her at school. When Janie's mom disappeared, Ella was just so real about it. She didn't make Janie feel like it was a dirty secret to hide. She talked frankly about how it made Janie feel. You know what I mean?" I nod. "Yeah, I get it. Ella is the most real thing that's ever happened to me. How do I tell my brother that I know exactly what he means when this woman's been teaching his kid for 3 years, and I'm just some bosshole with a sex contract, turned pseudo-jailkeeper roommate while she's in danger? But he's Christian, and he knows me better than anyone in this world. He gives me that classic older brother look he's been plaguing me with since I was born. He shakes his head, saying, "She's a real keeper. You know that, right, bro? Girls like Ella don't come along but once in a lifetime." He lays a heavy hand on my shoulder. "I know, man," I say. "I get it. Don't fuck this up, Cash." He says it with an almost threateningly tight squeeze of my deltoid. "I won't." I shrug out from under his grasp because how can anyone promise something like that? "I'm going to go find Ella." Christian opens his mouth like he wants to say something more, but he quickly closes it. He knows I'm done talking. There isn't anything he's going to say that's going to make either of us feel better now. The word terminal kind of ruined the chances of that 6 months ago. I find Ella sitting on my bed, her face ashen. Has all this with Christian been too much for her? I mean, I could have warned her that my brother was coming over and that his daughter was a student at the primary school, but it's a massive school with a huge student body. It never crossed my mind that Ella was Janie's teacher. When I saw Janie, she was so busy telling me about the latest pony or princess show she was obsessed with. School never really came up. When my niece flung herself into Ella's arms, it was more than apparent. The two ladies were more than acquainted. "Ella, what's wrong? Was that weird? Seeing an old parent and student from your school after you were..." "Fired" seems harsh. "Let go?" She shakes her head, giving a tight smile that looks almost painful to try and pull off. "Tell me." I sit beside her, wrapping a protective arm around her shoulders. "What is it?" She heaves a heavy sigh, putting her phone screen side up in my hand. The texts are back. 5 more since the one I erased in the middle of the night. They boil my blood. I want to send a hitman for whoever typed these out. "Do you know who sent these?" I ask, trying to keep the rage from my voice. I want to be calm for her. She shakes her head, her pearly whites sinking into her bottom lip. "No, but it's not important now. Not with Janie here. We should focus on her." Her dark eyes turn up to mine, pleading with me to let this go, to pretend life is normal and she doesn't have a stalker disrupting every minute of her day. "Okay." I take the phone from her, slipping it into my pocket. "Tell you what, I'll take care of this unpleasant situation, and you help me take care of Janie. Deal?" She searches my face, trying to see if I mean what I say. I do. I always do. She likes what she sees and gives me a nod of agreement. "Okay, deal." Relief washes through me. I can take all the parenting classes they offer at Children's Services, but I'll never be ready for the daunting task that looms ahead of me. single father to the most precious little girl this world has ever had the pleasure of meeting. We sit there, enjoying a comfortable silence, each of us deep in our individual thoughts. A few minutes later, she's the first one to break. She looks up at me with wide, trusting eyes, putting the pieces together. Why is Janie staying here every other weekend now? Her soft hand slips inside of mine as her voice lowers. And who were you in the graveyard for that night? Christian is the only person I've talked about this with. In some ways, that was freeing. To go on being me with no one at work or in my personal life knowing what kind of changes were heading my way. But in another way, it's isolating and lonely to be the only one in on a terrible secret. I stroke the pad of my thumb over the back of her hand. So, this isn't easy to say. I find my throat tightening up, not allowing me to speak. Her own trembling voice breaks in, freeing me from the pain of speaking it into existence. It's Christian's grave you were visiting. I understand. I don't let the tears come. I don't know when or if I'll let myself cry, but this is not the time. Christian, Ella, and Janie are here, and they need me. I won't break down. I won't let myself break. I clear my throat. Yes, he's sick. Right. Tears bloom in her eyes. She pushes them away with the backs of her hands like she's embarrassed or angry that she's allowed herself to cry at my family's pain. I see. We thought, Christian and I, and B thought. Who's B? She asks. I think of B with her comforting authority and purple loafers. B's awesome. She's a social worker who's helping us make a plan for Janie's adjustment. She teaches this newly single dad class where they teach you to make grilled cheese and do hair. You? Her brow furrows neatly. Can do hair? Yup, and I do a mean bun too. I'll practice on you sometime. I'll make a pretty, long braid I can wind around my hand. I gather her hair in a knot at the back of her neck, tugging her face to mine, and tie to my bed. Sounds nice. She blushes and I kiss her. The heated moment seems inappropriate considering the topic at hand. This is what she does to me. Makes me do inappropriate things. I fill her in on the deeper details of my brother's health. Christian was diagnosed 6 months ago. Pancreatic cancer. He's been doing okay, but things are starting to progress pretty quickly. We've been planning for what happens after. Ella rubs my back. It's a lot to process, I'm sure. Yeah, I've been feeling a little out of control. She wrinkles her nose adorably at me. You? Out of control? I can't see that. I'm pretty good at keeping my work and personal life separate. But my voice tightens. Losing Christian, I felt like my life was spinning out of control. That's why I had you sign the contract for payment for the lawyer fees. I needed to feel like I was in control like I was before, even if it was just for a fleeting moment. I get it, I think. She tosses me a generous smile. But why the cold shoulder for those couple weeks? My voice goes gravelly. I felt like I was falling for you, which only made my life spin further out of control. I used to be more, free-spirited? I think that was the Cash Martha remembers, the one she talked about that day she trained you. But ever since Christian, things have gotten so serious. Well, I'm here now, and no cold shoulder is going to get rid of me. I'm here for you, and I'm here for Janie. She gives my hand a squeeze. Just like you've been there for me. There's more. The words slip from my tongue before I can pull them back. Her face is so open, so honest. The way her eyes stare into mine, they make me feel like I can tell her anything. Talking to Ella, it makes me feel like 1,000 pounds have been lifted off my shoulders. I haven't told this to anyone, but now I'm telling her. What is it? She asks. When he was diagnosed, they sent him for genetic counseling. It turns out he has a really rare mutation that most likely caused the cancer. It's super rare itself, and then for cancer to be caused by a gene, well, that's rare too. My brother, he's always been such a healthy guy, it's the only explanation. I shake my head, still unable to believe Christian's bad luck. Anyway, I had to be tested too. Do you have it? She asks. No. The guilt I've been carrying for the past 6 months somehow settles in my chest all at once, making it hard to breathe. No, I don't. I think of sweet Janie. It should have been me. Why couldn't it have been me? That's good you don't have it, because you have a very important job ahead of you, and we, Janie, needs you to be healthy. Her brow furrows. After teaching her all these years, I'm still surprised I didn't put 2 and 2 together that you and Christian were related. You were Janie's teacher every year? How did our paths not cross? I guess I've been a shitty uncle, too busy at work to be at the school plays. I'll do better now. I have to. Yes, I was in the pre-K through first grade room. The primary school has a multi-age philosophy where they mix ages to enhance the learning environment, and... She gives me a sheepish look like she's confessing something. I may have asked Miss Frosty to make sure Janie was in my class every year. Janie was lucky to have you looking out for her, especially with her mom out of the picture. I remember how devastated Janie was when her mom took off a couple years ago. She rubbed circles on my back. Have you heard from Janie's mom? What was her name? Heather? Yes, Heather. She wants nothing to do with Janie. Christian already has full custody, and she's promised to sign anything we need to legally put Janie in my care when the time comes. That's so sad, but probably good. Having her mom just appear after all these years would be a huge adjustment on top of what the poor little girl is already going to have to go through. She dabs at her eyes. There's one more thing. I can't believe I'm telling her all this, that I'm spilling my guts like this. I'm cold. I keep my emotions in check. I don't talk about this stuff, not with anyone. But here I am, telling her all of it. And it feels good. Ella does that to me. Makes me feel good again. I say, Christian, he refused any treatment. He saw so many specialists and no one could give him hope. He wants to go his own way, not hooked up to machines. I think that was the hardest part for me to accept, even more than him getting sick, but it was his choice, and the last thing I wanted was for him not to feel supported. Her hand pauses and she lets out a heavy breath. God, Cash, you've been going through all this alone? I didn't want to burden anyone. I give a gruff laugh. Like I'm burdening you now. It's not a burden, not at all. I want to be here for you, for all of you. I wrap my arms around her, pulling her in close. I lean in and kiss her. It's a warm, clean kiss, but it runs deeper than the sexy ones we've had. I have to force myself to pull away. I pat her thigh, clearing the emotion from my throat. We should go downstairs, otherwise we'll be late. For what? She asks. I feel ridiculous saying the words out loud, but I think of little Janie's face and my voice goes all gruff. We've been invited to tea. Chapter 14. Ella. Watching all 6 feet 2 inches of Cash Bachman fold himself up like an origami to fit into a little kid's chair, well, this might just be the highlight of my life. He spreads a flowery napkin over his lap and lifts a tiny white porcelain teacup with his pinky in the air. His dark brow furrows at Janie. Like this? Janie heaves an exasperated sigh. Yes, but I told you, Uncle Cash, you need cream and sugar to make it good. Reaching up, she snags the cup from him, dumping in what would be about 1,000 calories of make-believe cream and sugar. She hands the cup back with a decisive nod. Now try it. He eyes me warily, as if daring me to laugh, then takes a pretend sip. Not bad. Not bad? Not bad? That's my special blend, she huffs. I take a sip from my own cup. Oh, Janie, this is perfect. See? She rolls her eyes at Cash. She gets it. I hold a hand over my mouth, hiding a fit of giggles. After tea, we take her to the park. She's in the middle of the two of us as we make our way down the sidewalk. She's already holding my hand, but then she grabs Cash's. "Swing me, please," she cries. "Okay." I look at Cash. "This is the part where you count to 3. He gives a serious nod. "I can handle that." Together we count. 1, 2, 3, and we swing our arms so she flies through the air. Jenny gives a cry of glee. "Again!" He pushes her on the swings, watches her go down the slide 100 times and brushes off her knee when she falls. "Kiss it," she sniffles, pointing to the scrape. He looks to me like he's asking for a way out. I shrug. "You always kiss the boo-boo. It makes it better." Leaning down, he presses his lips gently to her knee. "All better?" The touching moment of softness creeps into my uterus and makes my ovaries ache. I just had to explain the term baby fever to Ace last week, and now I'm throbbing with it. Damn, would he and I make some adorable-looking babies. "Ella!" Jane's voice brings me back to reality. She's standing in front of me, hands on her hips, staring at me. "I said, would you like a mud pie?" Her little pink boots are caked in mud, and she's got splashes of it on her cheeks. She also has heavy eyelids. The sun's setting, and it's probably close to her bedtime. I grab her hand in mine. "Tell you what, how about dinner at home instead? I heard your Uncle Cash makes a mean grilled cheese." We get her home and all cleaned up. Cash makes us all dinner. He's pretty good with a griddle. And then we put Janie down for bed. "But I'm not tired," she yawns, snuggling up to her blanket. "Shit, I'm exhausted." Cash flicks on the switch for the gas logs, then slumps down onto his black leather sofa. A stark contrast to Janie's perfect pink room. And that was only half a day. How do parents do it? Man, how do teachers do it? How many of those munchkins did you have in your class at one time? 12, I shrug. But it's easier at school. They have a routine and know what to expect. You should start a routine here with her. It'll help when... My throat grows tight thinking of Christian. With the transition. He eyes me as if contemplating something. After a long beat, he says, "You know what?" "Huh?" "You'd make a really great nanny." He watches my face as I absorb his words. "You mean you'd want me to be Janie's nanny? When the time comes?" "Why not? She clearly adores you. You have a ton of experience, and last I checked, you were unemployed. Think about it, at least." "Okay, I will. Think about it, that is." I love Janie. Spending time with her, helping her through this hard time. It would be as good for me as it would for her. But being Cash's nanny? My billionaire boss turned single dad overnight, and I'm his live-in nanny? What could go wrong? I've seen enough rom-coms to know the answer. Everything. Everything could go wrong. Cash and I are so new, and throwing a little girl into the mix. Are we strong enough for that? But his blue eyes are pleading with me, and I can hear Janie's faint little snores softly traveling down the hall. They need me, as much as I need them. "You know what?" I say. "I'll do it." "Awesome." He heaves a sigh of relief. "I'll tell Christian. It'll be a weight off his shoulders knowing there's a woman we trust around. I mean, like I said, I can do a braid and a bun, but that's about it." "I'm honored you trust me." "I don't know the first thing about raising little girls." His eyes hold mine. The gravity of his new reality is written all over his face. "I'm here," I say. "It's going to be okay." And it is. I'm going to make it okay. I move to him, curling up beside him on the couch. His arm wraps around my shoulders, heavy and protective and warm. I tuck my legs under myself, running my hand over his chest. We stare at the fireplace, lost in our thoughts. The moment of peace doesn't last as long as I'd like, with Cash's phone going off. He quickly dives into his pocket to silence the ringer. "I'll take this outside so I don't wake her up." He moves to the French doors that lead out to the balcony. I watch him as he talks on the phone. His hands are animated, his brow creased. He turns to me, beckoning me to join him. I walk out onto the second-story balcony, and for a moment the view of the backyards of the neighboring townhomes takes my attention away from the view of him. Each one has a neatly parceled garden, some with stone fire pits, in-ground jacuzzi tubs with steam rising from them, and one even has a wood-fired pizza oven. This place is gorgeous. It just gets better and better. Ella. I look over at Cash. He's got his stern face on, his hand over the mouthpiece speaker of his phone. I asked, "Do you know Chloe Barwell?" Chloe? Who'd be asking about Chloe? Who is that on the phone? It's Preston. They finally hacked the phone that's been texting you. It's a burner, but it was purchased a few weeks ago from a credit card that belongs to a Chloe Barwell. Do you know her? A white heat flashes over my face and my stomach drops to the ground. I feel like the ground's been pulled out from under me. Chloe? Ella? I feel Cash's hand gripping my shoulder as I stare off at the horizon. Are you all right? Your face has gone pale. I know he's talking to me, but I can't form a reply. Preston, I'm going to have to call you back. Yeah. All right. He grabs me in his arms, leading me back inside to the couch. Here, sit down. Thank you. He arranges a gray Sherpa fleece-lined blanket over me. Sit tight. I'm going to grab you some wine. I pull the blanket tighter around my shoulders. Chloe? It can't be her who's been sending me all those nasty messages. She's my best friend. At least she was my best friend. I know we've grown apart since the accident. But to send me those ugly texts? Murderer. I think of the blood-red letters splashed over my door. My stomach twists and knots. That can't have been her. Can it? Cash returns with a beautiful cut crystal wine glass filled almost to the brim with red wine. He hands it to me, the light catching the glass and casting rainbows over the walls. I take the glass with a grateful sigh. Thanks. I needed something to calm my nerves. Go on, have some. I tip the glass back, swallowing down the rich, fruity wine. I'm no connoisseur, but I don't have to be an expert to know what I'm drinking tastes wonderful and very expensive. I take another deep sip. He pulls my feet out from under the blanket and into his lap. He starts to rub my toes over my thick socks, his palms kneading the bottoms of my feet. I have to hold in a low moan. It feels so good. When you're ready, tell me about this Chloe person. His tone is stern, but more on the protective side than the corrective one. I get the feeling he'd want to keep me safe from anyone who would try to hurt me. That feels almost as good as the foot rub. Almost. He lightly pulls on each of my toes as I drink my wine. When the glass is half empty, I figure it's time to start talking. We met in college. She was my best friend. When I started dating Erin, she always went with us wherever we'd go. We jokingly called ourselves the Three Musketeers sometimes. He lifts his brow. But sometimes three's a crowd, isn't it? I think back to those times that were good, when the three of us would hang out. Yeah, sometimes I got this feeling that, I don't know, Chloe felt something a little more than just friendship for Erin, but I always put it out of my mind. I kind of prided myself on not being a jealous girlfriend. He gives a sigh. Can't say the same for myself, I'm afraid. I can be a very, very jealous boyfriend. With you, I'm incredibly possessive. Boyfriend? I take a long sip of wine. His brow creases. You live in my house. I'm obsessed with you. I can't let you out of my sight. Yeah, I think it's safe to say you're my girlfriend. Aw, that's sweet. Obsessed. I like that. He gives the bottom of my foot a little smack. But that doesn't get you out of telling the rest of the story. Okay. I smile, his playfulness and the wine making a not-so-fun story a lighter moment than it could have been. Anyway, if it was her sending those texts, I guess looking back there were some red flags. Like one time she was over at our place and said she was cold. She borrowed a jacket from Erin and never gave it back. She wore it. A lot. Saying it out loud makes me realize how crazy that was. I don't think that's normal. He runs the pad of his thumb down my arch. Any chance she did have feelings for Aaron, so when whatever happened between you two happened, she blamed you? I finished the wine. It's possible. Here. He takes the glass from me, setting it on the floor. Thank you. I snuggle down further into the couch. I know he's going to ask before he asks it. Are you ready to tell me the story from that night, Ella? Do I have a choice? He shakes his head. I know it's time. As I tell the story to Cash, I find myself slipping back in time, back to that night, reliving it. I'm no longer safe and cozy on Cash's couch. I'm back in Aaron's apartment with its modern lines and huge glass windows. The scratchy oak floors need to be refinished, but I like the worn look. It's late and he's drunk. Again. He's pulled me out of bed, his fingertips digging into my shoulder. He's livid. Something about a light, but my head is blurry with fear and sleep. You never think of anyone but yourself, do you? His face is inches from mine. I can feel the heat, the hate emanating from him. His fingertips claw deeper into my shoulder as he demands again. Do you? The light. I forgot to leave the hall light on for him when I went to bed. I shake my head. No, I don't. I was selfish. I should have thought of you. Just keep him talking. They'll come. You'll be safe. He pulls me closer until his lips are a breath away from mine. I don't know if he wants to kiss me or kill me. His voice is low and cruel, and the sound of it grates against my nerves. You're selfish because no one ever loved you, aren't you? No one's ever loved you. You're an orphan. Your parents didn't even want you. Your father left before you were even born. And your mom, well, she couldn't stand to look at you, could she? That's why she left you all alone. Now I'm the only one you have in this world, and you can't even leave a light on for me. What the fuck, Ella? I know, it was stupid. I'm sorry. I pull back, but his grip tightens. His breath reeks of booze, but there's a crazy light in his pupils I don't recognize. Is he on something? Stupid doesn't begin to cover it. And where the hell were you last night? It was almost 6 before you got home. I think back over my school day. Janie's dad was late. He had a doctor's appointment that ran late. I stayed with her until he could get there. Stayed with her? Or waited for him? I've seen the way you look at the dads at your school. All moony-eyed with your daddy issues. You think they'd want you? Wall Street millionaires? They wouldn't look at you twice. His hand grips the back of my neck, dragging my cheek against his. The scruff of his stubble tearing at my skin. You think you can do better than me, Ella? You can't. Surely someone's called the cops by now. His voice is thunderous and I want to put my hands over my ears to block out his angry screams. I know I should apologize, beg, tell him how amazing he is, how good he is to me. I know I need to lie. I need to keep him talking, to wait it out, to wait for help. But something in me snaps. How can someone say words so cruel, even if they are true? Aaron is supposed to love me, and here he is, once again telling me how worthless I am, how unloved I am. Something rises in me, brave and strong and true. A fire starts in my belly, embers fueled by a gust of wind and growing into a raging wildfire of anger. Maybe I can't do better than you, Aaron, but being alone would be better than being with you. I take my hand and press it against his face, pushing it away from me. I'm leaving, and this time, I'm not coming back. His voice is low, danger lurking at the edges of his vile words. The fuck you are. My 2 hands press flat against his chest and I push with all my might. He's bigger, stronger than me, but I take some satisfaction from the 2 stumbling steps I force him to take as I push him away from me. You won't see me again. I throw my shoulder at him, pushing past him, hiding my trembling hands from his line of sight. I square my jaw, straighten my spine, and march toward the front door. Only my fingers never reach the handle. He grabs me, pulling me back into him with such force my head snaps back. My back is against his chest, his arm wrapped around my waist, pinning me to him. His lips go to my ear, his breath tickling my skin. For a crazed moment, I almost think he's going to tell me he loves me. Instead, his voice comes through as vicious as I've ever heard it. I'm going to kill you. Ice travels through my veins as my body freezes against him. I feel the cold metal of a gun pressed against my temple. When did he get a gun? How have I miscalculated this so badly? How did I let things get so out of control? You never loved me. My head shakes. The words slip out before I can stop them. I thought I knew what love was, but now I know. You never loved me. You couldn't even say it back. Something shifts in him. I feel the tension between us move like a gust of wind. He tenses. Never loved you? He releases his hold on me, grabbing my shoulder roughly and turning my body until I'm face to face with him. His eyes flash, feral and furious. Never loved you? How can you say that, you selfish bitch? The words should hurt, but all I feel is relief because I'm watching him lower his hand and bring the gun to his side. He stares at me for a long, hard minute that feels like an hour. I can hear my heartbeat thrumming through my eardrums. My chest burns as I hold my breath, scared to breathe. He raises the gun, but this time, to his own temple. Is that what you think? One of us isn't walking out of this room. So tell me, Ella, who should die tonight? I hold his gaze, letting the breath escape my lungs in a guttural moan. His eyes are so full of hate they relight the fire in my belly. His fingers tighten around the trigger. Tell me now or we both die. You, then me. He means it. He really will kill us both. I answer him. You! It should be you! Pain, hatred, sadness. I don't know what the emotion is that sweeps over his face, but I know until the day I die I'll never stop being haunted by the look in his eyes and what he does next. He pulls the trigger. The cops finally came, and when they find me on the floor beside him, I'm cradling his head in my lap, holding the gun in my hand, and I'm covered in his blood. I was in shock. I don't know why I picked the gun up other than the irrational thought that was running through my mind like a freight train rushing over the tracks. I'd better not leave this on the floor. Someone could get hurt. But the police didn't believe me. I could tell by the tone of their voices, the rise of their eyebrows as they took my statement. They didn't believe me. And what did it matter? I had killed him, hadn't I? I could have told him it was me who should die that night. Chapter 15. Ella. Baby, come here. He holds me and lets me cry. I'm going to help you get through this. I never told anyone the full story, not even the police or Preston. It feels good to have someone other than me know what actually happened. I just couldn't, and I don't really know why. It's okay, I understand. That's a heavy story to share. He smooths his hand over my hair and lets me get all the sadness out. Then in classic boss fashion, he gets to work. He cups my face in his hands. You need help to process what happened to you. Help? I bristle. Help is uncomfortable. Help means digging up past hurts and reliving them. No, thank you. I'd rather just brush this under the rug with all the other trauma from my past. I'm good, really. I don't need... No buts. You need time to process, time to heal. You've been holding all this in, shouldering all this pain by yourself. His gaze is steely, determined, final. I don't bother arguing. Maybe for once it's time to try out a new way of handling things, or letting him handle them for me. That does sound nice. I nestle further into the safety of his broad chest. He takes me upstairs and prepares a lavender bath. Sensing I could use some time alone, he leaves me, saying he needs to make some boss calls, in that boss voice of his. I'm too drained from telling that story to even wonder what kind of calls he's making. I soak for a half hour till my toes and fingers are prunes. He pulls me out and towels my dry skin. I dress in my comfiest sweats and an oversized cropped tee and snuggle up on the couch by the fire. He serves me hot chocolate with whipped cream and sprinkles. Then he kicks into a new mode of his I've never seen before. Boss man planning mode. And damn, Is he serious about it? I have to hide a giggle behind my mountain of whipped cream. He stares at me, brow to the sky. Here's how this is going to go. Wait, are you laughing at me? No, I giggle. Because this is serious, and if you can't take it seriously, you're going right over my knee. He pats the vast expanse of his muscular right thigh with a massive opened palm. Ack! I choke down a few sprinkles, clearing the laughter from my throat. I'm serious. I promise. Good. His voice softens. This is about your health and well-being, and that's the most important thing to me right now. Aw, that's just about the sweetest thing I think I've ever heard. I feel a flush creep into my cheeks. I manage a smile and reply, Thanks. First things first. Therapy. I'm not sure about that. Trying it once is mandatory. After that, you can make up your mind. A psychologist the family trusts is flying in from Greece. Her name is Sasha. She'll come every day for 2 weeks. If I choose to continue therapy... When you choose to continue therapy. I take another sip of my cocoa. How are you so sure I'll want to keep going? Because, he gives me a smug, I already won this battle kind of look. Each therapy session will conclude with a trip to the day spa for a full body massage to relieve any tension you might be carrying. Oh, point, set, match. Game over. Cash wins. That does sound nice. There's more on his list. Workout sessions, hot yoga with the other beauties, more spa treatments just to spoil me, manicures, pedicures, facials. The next 2 weeks are completely booked with me time. A thing I've never experienced in the past. I'm nervous for my first therapy appointment. Sasha puts me at ease. She has beautiful hair pulled up in a long dark ponytail and a killer smile. I sink down into one of the plush leather chairs in the office she set up in one of the townhomes. Thanks for coming all this way just for me, I say. She flashes me a neat row of gleaming teeth from behind her hot red lipstick. Oh, it's my pleasure. Besides, I love visiting. My husband and I moved to the family island in Greece, and I miss the village. There's a family island in Greece? She waves the idea away with a flick of her hand. Let's get started, shall we? I guess I'm not in this enough to know all the family secrets yet. I clear my throat. Okay. I'm a little nervous. I'm more of a keep everything bottled up kind of girl. Well, then it's time to pop your cork, she says with a laugh. Just let it all bubble over. We have long, drawn-out sessions. I tell her everything. We start with my childhood. It's painful to relive those moments. The abandonment, the time shuffling between homes and foster parents. But it's healing, too. It's like when you work out really hard and your muscles ache and you want to throw up. But you know those endorphins are coming and you're going to spend the rest of the day feeling good and healthy. Afterwards, a ridiculously good-looking man with dark wavy hair and a thick Italian accent massages my naked back with warm, scented oil. My mind detaches from my body, and for 1 full hour, I'm nothing but the sensation of his strong hands gliding over my oiled limbs. I commit to the rest of the therapy sessions. While I'm working on my emotional health, Cash is working with Preston and conducting phone conferences with rooms full of lawyers. They're determined to get the case dismissed. While they do their work to clear my name, I keep working on me. There's guided meditation, a Reiki healer, and a sound bath which I find strange but soothing. I do strength training with a personal trainer, then do an hour of hot yoga with the beauties. They're the sweetest group of women I've ever met, and they welcome me into their fold. While Sasha works on making my insides new again, the women at the spa work on the outside. I get my nails done, a deep conditioning treatment for my hair, my face massaged. I even managed to choke down a salad or two under Cash's orders. Soon I look as bright and shiny and healthy on the outside as I feel on the inside. 2 weeks isn't enough to heal all the pain, and there will always be scars, but it's a damn good start. Thanks to Cash, I know I'm finally strong enough to tell people the full story. There are things I could have and should have done differently in my relationship with Aaron, but what he did wasn't my fault. Aaron's death isn't on my shoulders. The 2 weeks fly by. I'm standing in Cash's closet, which has somehow become stuffed full of new clothes for me. A shopping trip here, an online order there. It really adds up, trying to decide what to wear to my last hot yoga session. I go for the black Lululemon high-waisted pants and a black strappy sports bra. No need for a shirt. They don't call it hot yoga for no good reason. Trying to mimic Sasha's perfect ponytail, I pull my hair back until I've gotten a free eyelid lift. I hope I don't get a headache from it because it looks amazing. I grab my phone, fully charged with location tracking on as per Cash's order, and toss it into the bag he bought me. It's an oversized tote made of buttery, honey-colored leather that's so soft it's slouchy. I can't stop running my hand over it and breathing in the earthy scent of the leather. Yeah, you could say I'm obsessed with it. I snuck a peek on the internet to see what one of these costs, and I almost fainted when I saw the price tag. When it comes to me, apparently Cash's mentality is no expense spared. I wonder if I'll ever get used to his spoiling. I make myself a mental promise. If I do get used to it, that's fine. But I'll never, ever take it for granted. After being broke and discarded, I know how lucky I am to have Cash taking care of me. I just hope I can show him the same support one day. He's so strong. He's like the rock wall holding up the dam. He seems invincible.